Mail call, Big Dog50001 Automotive. What is this stuff?
He sent me a single sticker.
Hey, look at that. Old Antonio got a free sticker. And look, there's his YouTube channel name right there, Antonio Claudio Michael. Anyway, he asked for a free sticker and I sent him one. If you guys want a free sticker, I can send you one also. I got old school ones, I got newer variations. I have an Epidemic Entertainment one, which is my company. And if you don't like stickers, I even have a few magnets I can give you too. All you gotta do is send me an email, I'll send you something out for free. I even pay for the postage. I don't keep your emails or your address or anything like that. Like as soon as he asks for a sticker, I send it out and I delete his stuff. I don't keep this stuff. I'm not using it to do a mailing list or anything like that. I just do it because I like to send out stickers and to promote my channel. So if you guys want one, all you gotta do is send me an email. And if you want to help out Antonio and give him a few views, I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Whoops, sorry Antonio. I meant to give you a thumbs up. There you go. Alright, we got a 1995 Honda Del Sol behind me. Yeah, we're going old school today. Anyway, it got towed here because of a crank no start and a separate issue of a brand new battery that's already dead. Now I already fixed the crank no start, so let's see if we can figure out why this brand new battery is already going dead. Now I should mention I did charge the battery, so it's all fully charged. Let's just take a walk around the car. We'll do a visual inspection, maybe put an amp clamp on the battery cable and see what's going on. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. As you can see, the brake lights are on and I'm not pressing the brake pedal, so that's most likely the cause of our dead battery. Before we go touching or messing with anything, because in case this is an intermittent problem, I'm at least going to hook up the scan tool and see if I can see some live data. Now before I touch anything and inadvertently fix it, I'm going to hook my scan tool up, see if I can see any data on this. Now this is old, this is pre-OBD2 anyway. So our only connector is under here. It's just a 3-wire connector. You can see I have a Honda adapter here and I got my Bluetooth on there. And so we'll connect and see if we can see any live data. As you can see, we have a whopping 2 modules. We'll go into the PCM, see if we got any live data we can look at. And we do have some live data. What I'm looking for is the brake switch, and there we go, look at that. Brake switch is on. Now seeing as the brake switch shows on the scan tool, I don't mind going and touching the brake switch. So as you can see, looking at a wiring diagram, it's just a simple 2-contact switch. When you press the brakes, they just close together and make contact. So we can go press the brake a few times and see if it changes our data PIDs on the scan tool and see if it turns off the lights. And as you can see, brake lights are still on, and right there in the middle you can see brake switch still on. So let's see if we can get it to change states. Alright, so I'm just going to keep my eye on that brake switch data PID right there and see if it goes to off. Just pressing and letting the brakes go a few times. Well, I pressed it quite a few times and we're still on, so didn't make any change doing that. And looking up under here, there's the brake pedal. And right there is our brake switch, if I can get a shot of it. See if I can zoom in. Come on, will it focus right there? Alright, right there it's pretty focused. Hard shot in here. But you can see that's the end of the brake switch, that little metal cylinder right in the middle of the screen there, right in the middle there. There's a giant hole right there. There's supposed to be a little plastic piece that presses that in, so you can see it's not pressing it in. So yeah, just a little plastic stopper is what's going on with this car. Whoops, sorry about that. I dropped the camera. That happens sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to grab something and put it up in there, see if I can turn that switch off and make sure that is our problem. But missing that plastic piece, most likely that's going to be our issue. Alright, as you can see, just for right now, I took a piece of cardboard, stuck it in there, between the pedal and the switch, and that way it closed the contact. So now we can look and make sure everything's off. And as you can see, the brake switch now says off, and the brake lights are off too. And normally you can find remnants of the plastic pieces just laying on the floor there, but I believe this vehicle was just recently vacuumed. Now the bulb on this side wasn't working, and before I make the call on just a bad bulb, take a look in there and you can see somebody's been meddling. Somebody's been attaching speaker wires and stuff on there. I suspect they broke the wiring right there, where they either put that contact or that little connector right there, or the tape. It looks like they just have a spliced tape connection. I suspect it's broken right there, and that's what's causing our problem with this light. And seeing as these wires don't even go anywhere anymore, whatever was installed here is no longer installed. I'm just going to pull it out. Yeah, with the tape off, you can see I'm definitely not a fan of putting these things on here because they can cut the wiring. And there's a good shot of what they do. They just pierce the wire like that. And just to show what these things do, that's why I don't like them, you can see that's a brand new bulb. I did have a spare bulb. I just threw it in there real quick. But I want you to watch the bulb. Look at that. And that's what happens when these connections get pierced like that. These bulbs carry a decent amount of current. So you got to get that fixed. So there you go. As you can see, it's fixed. Good to go now. I'll heat shrink those up and we'll call it a day. We'll call this one a fix. It ain't pretty, but it'll work. Alright, there's your finished product. And as you can see, I cut that zip tie flush. We don't want to get cut on those things. And I've been using these little flush cut pliers, if I could say that properly. These are from Japan. Very well built. These things do an excellent job cutting those zip ties flush. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in this, but I really like this tool. Yep, there's nothing quite like powering stuff up with speaker wire and brake lights. And I just used some heat shrink butt connectors, so when you shrink these down, there's some sealant in there that seals against the wire, keep moisture and stuff out. So this is the one I'm using, but there's lots of companies that make this stuff. And you curious what it'll look like with the amp clamp around there? Yeah, me too. Let's check it out. So it's fixed right now. You can see, what, maybe 20 milliamps. So everything's off. There's not a lot of modules that are going to stay awake on this thing. I will pull that piece of cardboard off, and that way it'll light the brakes up and you can see how much it pulls. And you can see with the brake lights on, we're pulling 4 amps. So yeah, that's going to kill your battery really fast. There's the part that should fix this car. You can see it's just a plastic little clip. Obviously this one's from Honda. I know Dorman makes an aftermarket one for this too, but we'll get this in there and that should solve our problem. And there's the part out of the plastic. So we should be able to just press the brake pedal back just a little bit and then reach up in there and pop this in place, and it should just snap in place. We should be good to go. And there you go, there's a shot of the fix. You can see now it's pressing on it perfectly. Now, although I said it was in there working perfectly, it was actually working a little too perfectly. And right here, this is a picture, this is the brake switch right here. And then right there, you can't really see it, but at the tip of my feeler gauge, that's where the little plunger is. And then this piece right here is the white plastic piece that we just installed. And so we need a 0.3 millimeter gap, and right now that thing is pressing it all the way in right on the threads, and so that's going to cause it, whoops, that's going to cause it to break again. That's probably why this thing broke to begin with, because this brake switch is not adjusted properly. So to adjust it, all we got to do is take a 14 millimeter wrench, loosen that nut, and then we just drop our wrench, and then we just back this off. All we got to do is unscrew that a little bit until we can get our feeler gauge right in there and make sure we got 0.3. And you can see I have my feeler gauge right here is 0.3 millimeter, if that was at all legible. I like having a metric set of these. So I'll adjust that and make sure it's perfect, and then this car should be fixed. Well, there you go. Hopefully you can see that it's adjusted now. If I press on it, you can see The clearance is perfect now. It's not pressing too hard on that piece, so it won't break again. And we'll just press on the brake pedal, make sure the brakes work. Yep. And as a little bonus footage, if you can hear that key going off, I did some more checks. I wanted to make sure there was nothing else that could kill this battery. And of course, interior lights like that one can kill the battery. Now it's in the middle position, so it should just you know, come on and off when the door's shut. But as you can see, both doors are shut. And I left the key like that so you could tell. But watch, because I think this thing was in an accident, if I just press on the door a little bit, look at that. Just like that. That little bit is keeping that light on. Watch when I press on the door. See? So if that light is left on like that, that will also kill the battery. So it's this switch right here. And where does it go? It mates up right there, and there's a dent right there, so it's pushed in. So it's not quite pushing this switch in enough. So we'll have to figure something out to get that thing to stay. Okay, I just took the plate and loosened the screws and moved it over a hair and tightened it back up. You can hear our dingers on. The light's still on. Let's see if it works now. All right. There we go. I think we got it fixed now. And you can see our draw's gone, so we're good to go. Any guesses of why this old Civic wouldn't start? Leave them in the comments below. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the fix on this old Civic Del Sol. This was an easy one. I like easy. In any event, hey, video helped you out or you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.